Hi, and welcome to Sunday with Mike. I'd like to thank everyone for their comments and feedback on last week's show. I can't thank you all enough for hanging out with us each week. I do appreciate it. On today's show, we're going to cover why checklists are important, concrete tent weights, a special MP3 player, and finally, venues versus the client. Where are your loyalties? So grab yourself a cup of coffee and join me. I'll be right back. I learned a long time ago that I shouldn't rely on my memory alone when it comes to things that are really important. Once I started creating checklists, I found that it lessened my stress levels because all I had to do was trust my checklist. Of course, you have to update them every time you change something in your setup, but it's much more helpful than you might think at first. So I want you to start with an event that you rarely do. And the next time you do one of those events, whatever it is, write down every single thing that you needed, used, or wish that you would have had with you that day. Here are some of the titles of some of my checklists just to give you some ideas. School dances, karaoke setups, small party setups, outside ceremony setups, bridal show checklists, etc. You get the idea. I found that I really liked creating my checklist on index cards made from really thick cardstock that were 5 inches by 8 inches. This size is perfect for me because it covers most of my list and it's small enough that storage in my notebook wasn't a problem. Having a checklist is especially important when you get that last-minute call and you don't have time to really think about everything that you should have with you. My checklists have saved me more than once, and I highly recommend that you start creating and using them yourself. I'll be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Once in a while, I need to supply a tent for an outdoor event to protect our DJ equipment. I decided to buy an Easy Up brand tent from Academy Sports that was 10 feet by 10 feet wide. It had a white top, and the tent was really easy to carry and set up, and I like it a lot. Whenever it's on grass, it wasn't a problem keeping it from blowing away because I would use the normal tent spikes that you can buy just about anywhere that tents are sold. I ran into a new problem when I needed to set up on concrete one time, and those spikes were useless to me. I found these concrete cylinders at my home improvement store, and then I purchased some anchors and some screw-in eye bolts, and then used a hammer drill to drill these holes. They're really hard to drill into. So here's what the finished product looked like, and I store them along the side of my house when I'm not using them. I found a food basket lift handle, and I use that to lift the cylinders and move them around where I need to, and this just makes it really easy to use. It's on the left. And then I also attach some metal hooks to one end of the 4 matching ropes, and that would connect to the cylinder, and it just makes this whole process really easy to add weight to the tent when you're on concrete. So here you can see the 4 weights along the handle, along with the handles and the 4 ropes, all packed up and ready for an event in a heavy-duty plastic crate. I do suggest a hand truck to move these things around on your location once you arrive at the venue or wherever it is you're setting up, because these things are really heavy. Once I arrive and set up the tent, I can use the handle to carry each weight to its corner, use one of the ropes to secure it, and then repeat this process for the other 3 corners. I hope that some of my ideas and how I've helped to weight down my tent will help you with your outdoor tent setups. I'll be right back. Each year, I do an annual outdoor event that's really early in the morning, and it never fails that while I'm trying to set up my own gear along with everybody else as a bunch of vendors, they all want me to play some background music for them. And the problem is that I'm not set up yet. We all get there about the same time. So I found myself wanting to arrive even earlier than I really needed to just to play background music for these other people. So I started asking myself, what's the quickest and easiest method that I can use to put some background music together while everyone else is still setting up for their event as well? My solution was to not only use a small MP3 player, but a special one that also had a built-in FM radio. This way I could either play music from my pre-made playlist, or if I got into a pinch, I could just select a popular radio station, plug it into a powered speaker, and away we go. This method took all of the pressure off of me to get there an hour earlier, and I really appreciate that extra hour of sleep, and just so that I don't have to play music for these other people. This really worked well for the setup. So now we can all enjoy music, myself included, at the same time while we're all setting up, and I still don't have to get up an extra hour earlier. Sometimes the easiest answer is really the best answer, so just remember to ask yourself from time to time, is there an easier or better way to accomplish your goal? And be sure to ask yourself this question often. For example, this little player could also come in really handy for your own backyard events, tailgating, and a lot of other times when you just need a really simple music source. I'll be right back. So let me set this up for you. Your client has hired you to do their event, and they want you to do something that the venue does not want you to do. They each have their own ideas about this, and neither one of them will budge a single inch. Now what? You're in the middle with no safe place to hide, so the question is, who gets your loyalty, the venue or the client? Ladies and gentlemen, introducing in the blue corner, the venue. Weighing in at 10,000 pounds, who can cut off your referrals and blacklist you in the blink of an eye. In the red corner, we have the client, weighing in at a mere 150 pounds, who signs your contract and can leave you a glowing or damning review. What will you do? Whose side do you take? You know, this scenario has been happening a lot lately, and I have yet to find a happy place to hide when it does. I've been forced to pick sides many times, and there's an old saying that my grandmother used to say all the time. Quote, "You leave with the one that brought you," end quote. And that makes me choose my client over the venue every single time. It's cost me a few venues as a result, and I'm okay with that, but I'm starting to look for other ways to handle this. The client really doesn't care about the venue, and you would think that since the client hired me and they hired the venue, there would be a little more care going on here, but I'm starting to see where neither one of these two seem to care about the other one in many of these cases. They just draw a line in the sand, and you find yourself in the middle, which is a really uncomfortable place to be. This has happened again recently, and that's why I wanted to mention it today. So I want you to try to find your best to find a compromise that will work for all parties involved when this occurs on your event. But when all else fails and you have to choose a side, it will help you to know if you've already thought this through, you've already taken some time to figure out how you feel about it and how you might respond if and when that should ever happen. So I ask you again, whose side will you take? And the winner is nobody. I'll be right back. So hi and welcome back. Listen, I have a big favor to ask. I'd like for you to go down into the comments section down below and list one of your favorite, your number one Halloween song, whatever that is, and from each person, just list your favorite, and then we're going to collect all of those, and then we're going to list the top 10 on next week's show just in time for Halloween. So I hope you'll help us out and list your favorite song. Just one, but whatever one it is, be sure to list it. So that's our show for today. I'm going to be back next week with all new topics to help you and your business. Be sure to share the show with your friends. Give me your thoughts in the comments section down below. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because that's what keeps me going, is the thumbs up. I really enjoy those and love seeing them. So thank you very much for that. So until next Sunday, be safe and thanks for watching.